Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over this Gling review. So this video is going to be particularly useful for individuals who are deciding whether or not to use Gling to edit their videos using AI. And so I've been using Gling for about 8 months now, and I must say that it's definitely a game changer for video editing. But here are some things that you need to be aware about. Now let's start off with the pros with Gling. You do get AI-powered video editing that automatically removes filler words, pauses, and bad takes. This saves me hours of editing. Plus, it can detect when you're looking away from the camera or when there are long silences and cut those out automatically. But the downside is that AI itself isn't perfect, and sometimes it cuts out things you actually want to keep in your videos. But the biggest cons of Gling though is that although the AI editing is impressive, you do have to go through and review everything it does. And what I mean by that is you can't just upload your video and have Gling do everything and trust that it's going to be perfect without any human oversight. So some videos, the AI editing is spot on and saves me like 3 hours of work. Other videos, I have to spend time fixing the cuts that the AI made incorrectly with Gling. I think most of the time it saved me on a single video was like 4 hours, but I've also had videos where I had to redo half the cuts because the AI got confused, and that added like another 30 minutes. Other things that I don't like with Gling is that currently that it doesn't work well with all types of content, especially if you have music in the background. Or if you're doing screen recordings with voiceover and sometimes the AI will cut out in the middle of important sentences if there's a slight pause. And unlike traditional editing software where you have full control, Gling sometimes makes decisions that don't make sense for your specific content. Now with Gling though, one thing to keep in mind is that you do have to take into account the subscription cost and the fact that you still need to review and refine tune the edits. So while it saves time, it's not completely hands-off, and you still need some basic video editing knowledge to fix the mistakes it makes. Now with Gling, there can be some processing delays, especially for longer videos. So my recommendation is that you plan ahead and don't rely on it for last-minute video editing. For me, for example, I learned to upload my videos to Gling right after recording, so they're ready when I need to do the final review and export. Now here are my 3 tips for people who want to try out Gling. First tip is to start with shorter, simpler videos to test out how the AI works with your speaking style and content type. Because Gling works better with some people than others, I found that it works great with my talking head videos, but it struggles with my screen recording tutorial, so test it out on different types of content first. Second tip is always review the entire edited video before publishing, because the AI will sometimes make cuts that change the meaning of what you're saying, or it cuts out important parts that were meant to stay in there. I learned this the hard way when I published a video on YouTube where Gling had cut out a crucial part of what my explanation was, and viewers were confused. Third tip is use it as a starting point, not as a final solution, because while Gling does the heavy lifting of removing obvious filler words and pauses, you'll still need to do some manual editing for the best results. I treat it like having an assistant doing the first pass of my editing, then I go in and refine it. My rule is that I never publish a Gling edited video without watching it completely at least once. But with Gling though, I'd say that it's pretty essential and it's been really helpful for my overall business. It's definitely sped up my editing workflows and made video creation less tedious. Even though it's not perfect every time, it practically saves me time every time. The savings are significant. Gling support is also pretty responsive when you run into any technical issues. And so with that being said, if you're deciding to use Gling, I'd say just try it out. You won't know until you actually do try it out, and they have a free trial. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. But don't expect it to replace human editing completely. But I hope you found this video helpful, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below.